So this is Ozzy Griffin doing a video response to something Bunsen said in one of my comments sections. She argued that self-sabotage is more prevalent among the lower socioeconomic strata in the Anglo-American establishment, that is, the UK, the United States of America and Australia, and any place else with a predominantly white Christian populace that speak English. What I've found is it's worse than that. I think our entire society engages in self-sabotage, Western society as a whole. Here's how it does it. Self-sabotage is the part of the R complex on top of your brainstem, the part of your brain that regulates your breathing and your heart rate, saying, I have all my social needs met, and I know where all my threats are, and I know I'm relatively secure. Some things might be toxic, yet I know this system works. I don't want to move. And when you pay lip service to the idea of moving up in society and, you know, getting different things, self-sabotage is when you shoot yourself in the foot, or you, without even realizing in a lot of cases, do something that undermines all your efforts, and then you say, well, gosh, I can't move. Yet the same system I always had before is right there to pick me back up. And I know how to make that work. We have a society that, for the last 250 years, give or take, has been more or less static. The exception was under the John Francis Kennedy administration in the White House during the 1960s, when JFK said, we choose to do these things not because they're easy, yet because they are hard, and gave achievable, measurable goals in getting to the moon as a social endeavor. He energized the public, and the world, I might add. If you've ever been to parks down in Australia, if you watch the movie The Dish, those guys nailed it because everybody wanted in on that. It proved that we could tackle a problem and win. It proved that something that was aloof and impossible, like landing on the moon and coming back, that was now achievable. So, it really was, for a lot of people, a golden era. And yet, after that, suddenly everyone lost interest. Once we got cable TV up in space, it seemed like everyone just lost effort. And that's the problem. We've got chunks of society that say they're very, very comfortable being where they are. The courts have their rules and their laws and their enforcement arm, and they're very comfortable. The government have their rules and their laws and their traditions and their enforcement arm, and they're comfortable. And even the citizens, like you or I, such as we are, citizens would say, we've got our rules and our laws and our traditions and we're comfortable. We don't want off this planet. And as long as we're being educated in a way that says, be comfortable where you are, get a good grade in the system, and you'll be fine, well, we're going to tie all our happiness to being in the system. So we're not, of course, our whole society is self-sabotaging. We're not motivated to do more. Okay, let's take Kennedy out of the picture. Let's say Reagan. If Ronald Reagan had have said to the world, I want to see private enterprise get into space. I want to see mining companies start up on Mars. I want to see asteroid mining entrepreneurs and freelancers out in the asteroid belt. I want to see orbital gardens growing organic food, whatever. I want to see that. By gosh, I think that if he'd said, and then said, we need to get around this and this and this to make it happen, we need to do that and that and that to make it happen, we could have gotten so much more, so much further into space. Ice mining on Io, there's one. And that's what I mean. it's just a case of people not having any goals and not having any. It's like our society doesn't. We don't throw any support behind dreamers, and you've got to have at least one dreamer with a dream to make something happen. That's what happened with colonizing North America by the European powers like the Portuguese and the Spanish. Some of them came to conquer, and some of them came to trade, and some of them came to rip people off, and some of them came to worship and pray. Nobody came there to just sit around and watch TV. And that's what I mean. So, I don't think that it's the lowest socioeconomic strata. To the contrary, I think it's from the top down, and it's all pervasive. Because everybody's comfortable. Anyway, I hope this has fleshed out my argument.